begin. Hello and welcome to another episode of the Anfield Boot Room. Last time we left you towards the end of January, as you can see here, a 2-2 draw with Chelsea, which wasn't the worst thing for our title bid, but wasn't the best either because Chelsea were absolutely dominating. I'm just going to run through some results leading you up to today's game against AS Monaco, which actually may be a bit of a spoiler, I guess. But anyway, such tension. And then we'll go through some. There's one transfer of relevance, and there are probably some funny names that are going on. So we'll do that, and then we'll play the game against Monaco. So first to results. It was all good in the league. I absolutely thrashed Fulham 3-3. As you can see there, 42 shots, 20 goals. I don't even want to. Yeah, 4 clear-cut chances. They had 1, 4 shots on target, and they managed to score 75% of those shots on target. So that about hits what's happening in my game. It takes me about 40 shots to score the requisite number of goals. It takes everyone else probably very, very few. But generally, we have good results. So, Villa, Fulham, Crystal Palace, Stoke here were 1-0, absolutely thrashed them 1-0. They didn't even have a shot on target. If they had, it probably would have been 1-1. And Newcastle here, yet again, a fairly dominant display. So we're edging it, but we shouldn't really be edging it. When you can beat Tottenham 3-0, it seems a very strange thing. And here was the first blow in the Champions Cup, first knockout leg, a 3-0 loss to Juve. A very even game. I had 2 clear-cut chances and 1 off the woodwork. They had a massive 8 shots on target, so really they should have scored at least 6. But yeah, I somehow, with my 2 clear-cut chances and 1 off the woodwork, didn't manage to score a goal. They managed to score 3. I had some injuries, which seem to be happening as well, which is quite annoying. In big games, my big players all get injured, so that's not at all a useful thing, and very much dented my hopes of progression in the Champions League. On my bounce back, I then beat my youngers team beat Burnley 7-0. So it doesn't really make sense, but there we are. Some more good victories: a Capital One Cup final against Chelsea, who previously had been absolutely dominating in the league. And beaten us, the only team to beat us apart from Juve, and we beat them 3-0 quite comfortably, quite nice. Then on the home leg we beat Juventus 4-0. Of course it took 41 shots. We got off to a stunning start with 2 goals in 10 minutes, and then they made me wait a whole 50 minutes for another one, so that was quite painful. But yes, 41 shots, 23 on target, and we got 4 goals from that, whereas it took Juve 8 shots on target to score 3 last game. But whatever, we were through. It was very tense. I should really have recorded it because it was an excellent game, obviously for us, and the result was incredible. Sterling played us an absolute blinder. We beat Man United 3-1, very important result there. That's a relatively even set of stats for us, to be honest. That could have easily been a loss. But yes, we got through that game. We then lose to Fulham, just mystifyingly, absolutely mystifyingly. So they scored, obviously, their first shot on target, and their first shot overall. And I had 90 minutes then to try and beat them. And it just wasn't happening. It makes me want to beat them up. But no. So my youngers, from beating Burnley 7-0 to losing to Fulham 1-0, we then beat Everton convincingly. Again, took 35 shots to get 1 goal. The opposition had 1 shot on target. This is leading me to believe that if I have more clear-cut chances than the opposition has shots on target, I win. If I do not, then I am in trouble and the result is in question. So I on that basis, right, a few more results. A draw against Bayern, 2-2 away, pretty good. They of course had 3 shots on target and scored 2 of them. I had 19 shots, but Balotelli popped up with 2 goals. Yeah, and this also, this little run here, I have 4 clear-cut chances. So, you know, I had 4 clear-cut chances. They had 3 shots on target. I suppose with 2 away goals, you could argue that was a positive result for me. We then drew against Millwall in the league. They had just ridiculous. They had 5 shots, 4 on target. I had 20 shots, 5 on target. It's very frustrating. I've gone beyond boot room bingo now. I can't be bothered. I've just got boot room frustration. We then absolutely hammered Bayern 5-1. Of course, you will notice they had 1 shot on target and scored 100% of those. But luckily enough, we scored 5, so that was good. Ridiculous. Good. So we were through. We then had the FA Cup semi-final, very tense affair, having come off playing Everton, Bayern, Millwall, Bayern in a matter of not very many days, and then we had Southampton, Monaco, Arsenal, Monaco in again, kind of less than 2 weeks. So we beat Southampton 1-0, which was very lucky. They had 3 shots on target, so really they should have won the game. But there we go. I had 4 clear-cut chances, so I won the game. I'm genuinely thinking this is a thing. And then we drew 0-0 against Monaco. I, of course, absolutely battered them. I had 3 clear-cut chances, so really you'd think with them only having 2 shots on target, we would have won. But very disappointing result. You'd have thought we could get an away goal, not an away point. Come on, Sam. But no, it was not to be. And yeah, it was very frustrating, and we'll see how that manifests itself. Obviously, Monaco actually able to play my on loan talent, small Thiago, who's having an absolutely stunning season for them, and that annoyed me as well. I then drew 2-2 against Arsenal. They, to be honest, we just looked down in the dumps. It was a bit of a, still a world-class team, still a leading Premier League team, but not, a bit tired, perhaps, and not exactly confident from having drawn 0-0 with Monaco. So not fantastic at all. Luciano Vietto scored, as he always does against me. He is a stunningly good finisher and technical player. So there we go. But he then gets injured, which is nice. Cruciate ligament. Oh, when I say nice, I mean really bad for him and his, team. But yeah, Aaron Ramsey scored a ridiculous goal. He just smashes it from like 35 yards, and Rully manages to palm it into the top corner. And then Origi remembered how to score, which was really, really good because everyone else seems to have forgotten. And we scored some goals, which was good. I don't really know. If I look at the stats, they probably thrashed me. No, I had more clear-cut chances than they did. But obviously they had massively more shots on target. So fair enough. This now brings us to Monaco. So after the Monaco game, oh, for God's sake, will my phone stop going off? This Monaco game will dictate very much how our European success goes this season. We're playing away against a Monaco team that they're not amazing. So I really would have thought I'd be able to beat them at home, considering I beat Bayern 5-1 at home. But, I'm hoping... and you can see here the Liverpool team news. Carlos Bayano has broken his foot, and this is mainly where our strike force, forgetting to be strikers and score goals, is suffering, because Bayano is very consistent, very big game. He's a world class player, and yeah, everyone else seems to have just kind of be doing it inconsistently, which is why recently we've not scored maybe as many goals. Look, this one, 7-3, 3-4, 3-4, 3. That's a lot. Whereas, we've got 0. I mean, 2 and 2 is not bad. 5 is good, but then 1, 1, 0 and 2. Not good. So then, looking forward, we've got the straight shot to the end of the season. Hopefully, there's some tension going on there. I'll tell you what, I'll go to our competitions page, and then we've got the FA Cup final. So competitions page. as you may remember, I was nowhere near first, nowhere near. I even went up to second, nowhere near first, and then on game day 30 for the Premier League, I went up to first. I've managed to sustain it, but this dodgy patch of form that we've just been looking at as and I even had a decent gap, and obviously I've popped down to second now with a game in hand. Luckily, so Chelsea, who are dominating, have had a few little collapses, so they just lose games in fits and starts, as opposed to their previously, that is fairly dominant form. So they lost a couple of games in a row, and then they lost a couple of games in a row again. So they went out of the Euro Cup to AZ Alkmaar, which is funny. But yeah, these are where I'm. Oops, I didn't mean to click on that. But yeah, that's basically draws at Sunderland and Hull. I'm hoping that will have done enough that I can not draw against those people, and I can win. I've had 2 losses all season, one to leaders Chelsea, one to Fulham, who, as you can see, are 15th. Ridiculous. Lots and lots of draws, some to the likes of Hull, who are not very good, Millwall, who are not very good, Leeds, who are not very good. A lot of these playing teams in the relegation zone, but there we are. So it is what it is. Currently, if I draw, I will be winning on goal difference. And if I win, I can then go, again, 2 points clear. So I've won the Capital One Cup, runner-up in the Community Shield, unfortunately, into the final of the FA Cup, semi-final, second leg. Right now, it's tough, it's tight. I'm a bit nervy, because obviously European glory is what is evading me so far. If we look at the history, I just haven't got close, really. Did I get to the final? No, I keep getting done in the semi-final. That's what keeps happening. So that's historically not very good for me. Even an all-English final that I managed not to get in, despite winning the Premier League and the FA Cup in that season, and the League Cup and the Community Shield. It was a good season other than that one. That one competition. But here we are. Right, okay, so we're going to do some funny names now, because that is fun. Right, so yes, okay, if we shoot here, we should be able to start seeing some of them. So Vitaly Coolish, he's not cool, but he's coolish. I don't know what his it'd be funny if his personality was actually coolish. Antonio Stasi, unfortunate name there. Giuseppe Morbidelli. It's actually Dele Alli's first name is Morbidelli Ali. But yeah, he's obviously, completely obsessed with death. Have we got Hamdi Castrati? He's actually quite good. I think I'm actually signing him, but let's hope there's nothing wrong with his masculine drive. So we've also got Sheldon Spratt, Richard Doodoo, Lee Huzzy. I thought that was quite funny. Justin Stainsby. That's just unfortunate. It's almost just a normal name, and then it's not quite. Barry Dix, classic. Neville Lim, I thought was odd. Mitch Root, as in I am Root. Terry McCrum, funny. Sean Rimmer, Adam Tank, and he's not a tank. He's 5'7". Niall Cox, of course, very good. Nathan Wellicombe, Wellicombe. Oh dear. George Defty. I thought if it had been Deftly, that would have been good. Scott Spurge, funny stuff. None of these guys, although again that is strawberry in Portuguese. Right, there we go. Goran Kazizada, that Danish prospect. Is he something else as well? Danish and Afghan. There we go. That's why it's called Kazizada. Marwingello Cecilia is a Dutch prospect. Mardwingello. Oh, what a first name. Marwingello. Time for tea. Roger. Ooh, man. I make myself chuckle. Juan Blaise. I'm actually signing him, or you could say Blase. I'm not really sure. I'm going for Blaise. Yeah, he's apparently got a lot of potential, and he's very determined, so I quite like that. Frederick Ben Benek. Of course, Gruby Benek being Chubby Ben in Poland, so that was Ben in, well, kind of bilingual Ben. There you go. Lutz Kinzervater, which is essentially means child's father. So, I mean, maybe who Billie Jean is looking for. Reference game, anyway. Kinzervater. Max Stock is what shops never seem to have in their back room. Hakan Kok, that's a basic one. Volker Butt, that's a good one. Boris de Chazmartin. Naeem Babouche is quite impactful. I don't think he's a very impactful player. No, he isn't. Christian music is what my wife sings in church. Clodian Davishi. Vichy. Oh, what a weird and wonderful world it is. And again, carrying on the weird and wonderful theme with Ando Fetra, Avon Bitana, Thamond. So, Ando Fetra, Avon Bitana, Tamand. He's French and Malagasy, and that is why his name is basically insane. Are there any more? Peter Coote, I believe, is actually just a good player. And I think that's about it on the funny name front. I hope some of those gave you a laugh. They did me, and that's just because I'm that way inclined to laugh at sad things. Right, now to the game. Let's just look at one of my transfers. The one little cheeky £30 million transfer on the last day of the January transfer window. Previously, I'd been offered him for like 90 million or 60 million, and it is Kevin Milton, been shortened to Milton after the great man himself, my father-in-law. As you can see, he's 20 now. He's lightning fast, technically fantastic. He's actually really creative as well, and he's got a good finish. So I can't quite decide whether he's an awesome striker and I should be training his finishing, or I'm trying to convert him into a left winger just so he's got a bit of flexibility as well. But so far when I've played him, that pace has been absolutely unbelievable. And yeah, he's a good prospect. He's English, 1 cap, 1 goal. He thanked me for it, and he also thanked England manager Andre Villas-Boas, of course, as you do. But he's a good signing, someone who I've been trying to get hold of for a while. Now let's proceed to this game and see how the hell it goes. Yeah, score draw is the kind of least that I need. Yeah, I'm just hoping. They've gone for a completely different approach, completely different lineup. They've got quite a hearty central midfield there of Nainggolan and Lucas Leiva, who's very good on this game, and Nainggolan also very, very good. They've got Lucas Anderson and Anthony Martial up front, as you remember. That's where Anthony Martial came from. A reasonably strong bench. I'm not quite sure. Konopoli Anchor is good. I think I sold him to them. I don't know who this guy is. Remy Francois. He is fine. Oops, just clicked on Konopoli Anchor again. Mamadou Seck is okay. I will choose to close him down and hack him down. That's how we do. Okay, I'm going to go weaker foot on Remy Francois. Spajic is a defender, and I don't know who this guy is. He is a bad striker, so let's close him down and go in on. Show him to his weaker foot. So they've got a good lineup, good wingers there, but not big strikers. So hopefully my defence can dominate in the air. I mean, we've not been on a good run, but I expect nothing but a win from this match. And as you can see, everyone's kind of mixed, and they're not liking that expectation either, which is not great. They're liking my faith though, so that's at least hold on to that, make at least some of them happy. But yeah, they're not all as they should be. You know, got some quite angry, some quite upset people, and they're not kind of coming along with me in basically what is my team's time of need. It's crunch time, guys. We just played the last 3 of the last 4 matches have been semi-finals, and so we'll just see how it goes. Balotelli, get on your bike. 29-year-old Balotelli. seemingly been very upset this season. He's been the ringleader of anyone getting angry, and so yeah, him being 29 and a complete troublemaker. Oh, for crying out loud! They scored their first shot on target, which seemingly went right down the middle of the goal. I don't know if anyone else thought that. Yep. So of course, crunch game, first shot on target. It meanders past Eder, and I mean, it's a fine shot. It's one that I would really expect Rully to save, him being an absolutely world-class keeper. But there we go. You know, yeah, Jesus. So I'd suppose if we score one, we're still technically up. We can't seem to get past their midfield, which I kind of highlighted might be a problem. Anderson again taking shots from the edge of the area. We apparently know how dangerous he is. I mean, he shouldn't really be that dangerous statistically. He's not even that good. But whatever. If we could get a goal back. No, now they're on the break. Fantastic. This is just what we need. Well done, George Alagaya, reading the news and the riot act to Anthony Martial as he took him out there. Really, with no inspiring play thus far. We've not even been able to get after them, really. This is... I try not to get annoyed and I try and have faith, but this is not a very impressive display at all. Usually we dominate and lose. Now we're not even dominating. So another rubbish shot goes over the bar. Jesus Christ. Well, so I mean, the commentator's gone goal, 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 but we've scored a goal. It was a terrible goal. Memphis crosses it in. Saul loses the header. George Alagaya from the edge of the area heads it in, and the goalie, it takes a deflection off someone just before it gets to the goalie, so he reacts as it passes him. We are 1-1, and I mean, I feel bad for the quality of that goal. However, the quality of their goal wasn't amazing, so I don't feel that bad. And we're back on level terms, and this is good. Origi, basic shot into the arms of Subasic. Can we get a foothold in the game? Can we use this goal to G everyone up? And Balotelli, if you could just put that away. Sterling, what are you doing crossing? Oh dear. These absurdly consistent and big game players. I mean, not doing me too many favours in big games so far. We've not been awful. We've not been brilliant. And the one time we were awful against Juventus, we followed that with a game of brilliance. So I suppose can't complain too much. Right, Sterling, get it, cross it in. Terrible cross. Subasic gathers it up. The loose ball. It was supposed to be a cross, mate. And we really seem to, despite playing its 4-4-2 very, very regularly, we seem to be being thrown by their formation so far. We can't really get a hold of their players, and we keep losing ourselves and the ball. But we're now coming to have more shots than them, which is good, which is what we need apparently to score goals and win games. Oh, Memphis hammers it over the bar again. It seems a really low-flying plane is going over. Right, I'm far from pleased with what I just saw. You guys are all crap. I'm going to take Raheem Sterling off. He's not playing very well, and he's on a yellow card. Yuri Tielemans is a more than able, although still not very happy. None of these guys are happy. We're winning the league. We're in the FA Cup final. We won the League Cup. We're in the Champions League semi-final. Why are none of you happy? What is wrong? I think I'm going to have to thin out the squad at the turn of this season, because I think what's made everyone unhappy is everyone perpetually complaining, oh, Memphis, for God's sake, score a free kick, you mug. Right, 60 minutes. Who's playing badly? Memphis. He's a great player, though, so I might not haul him off. I can't remember who else I've got on the bench. Odegaard, but then we'll see. We'll bear with Memphis for another 10 minutes. They've brought on Konoplyanka. I mean, at this rate, I am going through, but it's not been particularly inspiring. I'm now having the requisite number of shots. Wow, Memphis, the arse has fallen out of his performance. He's playing a 6.0. So then we'll bring on... I don't know whether to bring on Odegaard or Aretha, because Odegaard's technically fantastic, but Aretha is on good form. I think Odegaard it is, because Aretha can't play right wing. Now, really, I feel like I should take Balotelli off. because he's not playing very well and we need to score another goal to give us proper comfort. However, Lucas Badger and Kranovita are on yellow cards, so I don't want one of them to get sent off. I suppose I could just leave it and then, touch wood, none of them do get sent off. But if one does, I can make changes accordingly. Ooh, this is quite tense. It's not been a very good game, it has to be said. Oh, Lord. Right, the ball's bobbling about. Tielemans charging through, squares it to Balotelli, who plays it through to Origi, and that is a goal. That was offside. Wow, they really didn't flag that very nicely. Oh, and then Origi hits the side netting. Oh, that would have been a great bit of play there. Right, yeah, Felipe Coutinho not scoring, as he would in probably real life from there. Oh, so 81 minutes. Tielemans letting it go out for a throw, kind of absurdly. Yeah, okay, so they're saying Badger's taking a knock. He's looking knackered. He's not playing that well, and he's on a yellow card. We bring on Guido Hoyos. Right, hopefully give a bit more of an injection of pace and stamina to this back line, so we don't concede a last-minute goal. We don't concede a last-minute goal. We don't concede a last-minute goal. Okay, get it out. Get it sugaring. Remy Francois. Of course he scores. Right. So we basically, by the time this tactical change has happened, going to overload, the game will be over. And my players will have again done appallingly. So Balotelli picks it up. What has he got to look at? If we could, nope, that's attacker's broken down. Odegaard, Hoyos, anyone want to get it near the area? And there we go. So Divock Origi ends up playing a 6. Balotelli ends up playing a 6.6. It just, these guys' forms, I'm going to dig into it. So just horrible games, and then he'll score a hat-trick. He'll score 2 goals. Horrible games, score a goal. Horrible games. This is the guy that is fairly consistent. I would say that's wildly inconsistent. Divock Origi. Let's have a look at his form as another fairly consistent player. So, we've gone right to the bottom. So he scored 2, then a horrible game. He's had a horrible game this time, scored 1. Mediocre game. Great little run there. Amazing run. More horrible games. A good run. Terrible games. 1 hour lager. Exactly the same thing, which is why he didn't start. Whoops, I've gone some weird analysis page. So, horrible games. He's on a horrible run of form. Jesus Christ. Aggressive. That was just appalling. They need a rocket up their backsides. How can we afford... We got AS Monaco. It was even the good draw. Remy Francois scored against us. Are you serious? I mean, he's played stunningly in the fucking... Excuse my French. In the 3 fucking games that he's... Right, let's have a look at the stats. We had 3 clear-cut chances. They had 4 shots on target. I told you guys! So we had double the number of shots, double the number of shots on target, triple the number of clear-cut chances, and yet we lose again. Yep. Yeah, Raja 9 Golan 1 run the midfield. We will not be winning the Champions League again. I can't even be bothered to do this friggin' thing. Memphis has been tipped with a shout of being named best player in Europe. How do you rate his chances? I always back my players in press conferences, but to be honest, he's just played a 6. I'm not going to say anything. Has this defeat raised any questions in your mind about the performances of certain players? Very disappointed. Very disappointed. I'm not happy at all. So we got some money. whatever, don't care. Now the domestic double is on the table, so if we can win these 3 games and beat Man City, we can have a domestic treble then, which is still good, but yeah, not good enough really. And my squad, who's getting better and better every season, that's a very. Maybe I should have saved the funny names till the end. Christ. I mean, look at the players we have. We should be. I mean, my backup. I was explaining this to Ben. My backup team, my backup starting 11, is full of world-class players, and yet they lose 1-0 to Fulham. And yet my first 11, who's packed with world-class players, can't beat Monaco, who aren't very good at all. They're actually, let's look up AS Monaco. I think they're about 7th in the league. Yep, 7th in League One rather. Like, come on, lads. No top scorers, no average rating, no most assists, because they're terrible. For goodness sake. I can't. Jesus Christ. So there we go. I'll bring the recording to an end because otherwise I'll just become more and more upset. I think what is bugging up the season is the amount of unhappy players. So I've got stunningly, basically the average value in my team is about 25 million. But I mean, the amount of these guys that are unhappy. Not the top guys, but Emre Can's unhappy. Yuri Tielemans slightly concerned. Jesus unhappy. Balotelli unhappy. Sanabria unhappy. Krisatig unhappy. Arrillaga unhappy. Alagaya slightly concerned. It's just there's not a great team spirit at the minute. I'm gonna check my confidence as to squad harmony. There's an element of control. It should be up here, shouldn't it? Should be absolutely rocketing. Anyway, bye guys.